All right, everybody, time for a drive in this 2024 Acura Integra Type S. Now, I've already done a full review on this car, and I have a link to that review in the description. If you're at all interested in that, I would recommend checking that out if you don't know much about this car. I'll go into a lot more detail of all the different attributes about it. But I had such a good time during the handling test of my review that I wanted to go out and just have a drive in this car, really experience it for a little while. And that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to start the car up. Get it in the Sport Plus driving mode and just go have some fun. Yeah, so we've got Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires on this car, which are great tires, provide lots of grip, really appreciate that. We also have really good chassis balance. This is a front wheel drive car with 62% of the weight over the front axle, and yet, despite that, chassis balance is really good. We are working with a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that makes 320 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Really solid numbers. This is still a front-wheel drive car. This is very much that traditional hot hatch shape and engine layout and everything else. But Acura has just what the Honda Civic Type R has, which is a dual-axis front suspension. And that means, despite having so much power going to the front wheels, we have virtually no torque steer, which is fantastic. Now, you can really coax this car into a little bit of torque steer here and there if you're really trying to, but other than that, it's pretty much not there. Now, this is a pretty stiff suspension, but it's a compromise I'll happily take for the level of performance you get as a result. Gosh, man, look at the grip you can have even over a bumpy corner like that. You can just hold the road really well, and you have really good positive feedback from the steering wheel. You get a really good sense of how much grip you have left. It's just fantastic, and that's a Honda strength that I absolutely love. The ease to find the limit in this car is about as good as you can get. The rear suspension, by the way, is multi-link, so it is a 4-wheel independent suspension, of course. And to round out the powertrain, we do have a helical type limited slip differential to really help distribute power to the ground. Critical at corner exit, extra critical with front wheel drive. But one thing that should be noted, I am biased here. I grew up loving the Acura Integra. In fact, I owned an Acura Integra. I owned a first generation Acura Integra, the one that started it all. That had a torsion beam, solid rear axle suspension, and an old school boxy shape. That had a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder, and I think it was like 115, 118 horsepower. And even that car was such a joy to drive. And then the second generation got better, and the third generation got even better than that. So for Acura to bring back the Integra name was a risk in a lot of ways, because there was so much nostalgia and appreciation for the original first 3 generations of this car. Expectations were high. Now, I got to drive a non-Type S Integra last year, and in a lot of ways, I really enjoyed that one as well. That car was absolutely effortless to go quickly in. It was a lot of fun. But in the modern age, when the Integra ended with something like the Integra Type R, it was a tiny touch underwhelming. But now that we have this Type S, man, a lot of the reminiscing of the good old days is starting to come back. Oh man, it holds the road so well. And you can power out of a corner pretty darn quickly. That helical limited slip really does help distribute power nicely. Well done. Ooh. Nice and tight right-hander here. Oh man. Yeah, good grip. Yeah, good feel, good pull. That's what I'm talking about. This car just is so enjoyable to go quickly in. You just have such a strong sense on how much grip you have left. It's so easy to feel this car out, and I absolutely love that. Now, mechanically, this is very similar to a Honda Civic Type R, but it does actually have 5 more horsepower than the Type R, and it has that because it's got its own special exhaust that is a bit freer flowing and has this active valve as part of the exhaust, which changes the sound characteristics as you change the drive modes, but not drastically so. And with that different exhaust, Acura played with the engine tuning a little bit as well to increase the peak power by just that small margin. It's not much, but it's something, and I appreciate that. Oh man, yeah, it gets through these nice little sweepers so easily. Man, so nice and smooth. Minimal body motion, but the motion you do feel is very progressive. Now, this car really isn't about straight line, but this is a good spot to show. It's also not bad there. Okay, coming to a complete stop, do about 3,000 revs. Yeah, plenty of straight line speed here. It revs to 7,000 RPM. You get strong pull throughout, and we've got good mid-range punch thanks to that turbocharger. It delivers its 310 pound-feet of torque between 2,600 and 4,000 RPM. So a nice broad swath right in the middle to work with. Yeah, great engine. Now, it does not rev to 8,000 RPM like the old VTECs did back in the day. I loved that, but the amount of punch, the amount of pull you get, kind of sort of makes up for it. And of course, I have to mention, it is so fantastic to have a 6-speed manual transmission. I love Honda manuals. They operate smoothly, they have light feel, you can shift quickly. It's a great manual transmission. And the Integra Type S is manual transmission only. We have a nice fast ratio as well, so you can really just feed this into a corner. Doesn't need a lot of lock, and it's nice and precise, easy to control. Yeah, I mean, this is it's just a good car. It is a good, enjoyable car to drive quickly. I feel less stress going in this car than I do just about anything else because it's so confidence inspiring that you can get to that limit or even a touch beyond it and not worry because it's easy to recover. Oh, yeah, see, we went off camber there all of a sudden, and I could recover that without too much trouble. Yeah, I felt it in the handling test of this car, and I feel it even more now. The Integra Type S, the 2024 4th generation Integra Type S, really is a worthy successor to the 3rd generation car that we all grew up with and love so much. For folks of a certain age, yeah, you can reminisce, you can have nostalgia, but you can also know that this car truly does carry on the spirit of that car. And it does so with all the modern realities of cars today, but it handles them in such a way that you can still enjoy the drive. And enjoying the drive for driver enthusiasts is about the rarest commodity there is these days, which does bring us to the price of this car. $52,000 base price for this car, basically. It's a lot of money. It's not a little bit more than a Civic. It's a lot more than a Civic. But it's also a grown-up car that's easy to live with, comfortable to use every day, has all the modern tech that you'd come to expect in a car, and yet still delivers that driving satisfaction. To me, that's pretty much priceless. I'm Robin Warner. Thank you for watching. Please do take a moment to check out my full review of this car. I do manage to squeeze my road bike into it as an example. And also, if you like this video, please let me know in the comments. I'm trying to figure out if I should do more of these where it's not a full review, but it's just kind of focused on the driving fun of the car. If this is a kind of video that you like, definitely let me know in the comments. That'd be really helpful. And if you like this video, please also do give it a thumbs up. Doing so helps me out quite a lot, and I really, really appreciate it. And I think I'm just gonna keep driving a little bit more until I run out of gas. Goodbye for now. Oh.